With the end of The Acolyte, we have finally reached a point that I don't think I've ever seen with any other franchise in the history of entertainment. And that is, folks, people are telling Lucasfilm, please stop. Please stop making Star Wars. Disney, please stop supporting Lucasfilm. Fans of the franchise, now, seeing this drop so low, such an abysmal, terrible, reprehensible depiction of the franchise that they're saying, stop. We don't want any more of the thing we used to love. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve. First off, folks, we want to thank you so much. Yesterday, hitting 80,000 subscribers in just about a year and a half. It is a tremendous honor. And folks, every day we wake up, we are grateful that you are sharing your time with us. It's an opportunity we never take for granted, not a single moment. However, that is not what happened, apparently, with The Acolyte. It's not what has happened with Lucasfilm. Gifted the biggest franchise on the planet, the people over there did not take care of what was a huge gift to them. They did not understand what it was that had been given to them. And like the biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and yeah, I'm going there because this show that I just watched was reprehensible, vile, disgusting. Like Sodom and Gomorrah, when Abraham asks God to save the cities if only he can find one good person, folks, I'm here to tell you, if that were the case for Lucasfilm, there would be no Lucasfilm. Now, maybe I jest to some degree. Maybe there's somebody good at that studio. But the material they put out is terrible. This is exactly what you would expect if you said, I want someone evil to write a show. Never did I ever think that we would reach the point where the hero of the show is choking her adoptive father to death, turning into a love-making Sith, nor did I ever think that Darth Plagueis, the evil baddie of lore, would look like Kif from Futurama and come crawling out like a gecko from a, what would you say, from an Irish bungalow tryst-making love place for Sith getaways. Talk about lackluster. Talk about pathetic. And that's why we've reached the end of the Kathleen Kennedy era. Now, you all may say, Pro, she's never going to go. And I'm here to say it no longer even matters. Listen closely. It no longer matters if Kathleen Kennedy stays or goes. This was the end of the Kathleen Kennedy era. And what I mean by that is, nobody wants any more Star Wars ever again from her. Nobody wants any more Lucasfilm content from her. We don't want Indiana Jones. We beg you, don't make Indiana Jones. We don't want Willow. It's better as a tax write-off. So is this show, but it's probably too embarrassing for Disney to do that to Star Wars. But there's really no greater level of embarrassment they could possibly reach. This show was reprehensibly bad. 3-year-olds can write better content than this. The CGI is awful. The lighting is lackluster. The choreography is something that you should mock because that's the only thing it deserves. It is terrible in every single way. This is something that if you gave perhaps elementary students a $200 million budget, they could beat. And I would watch that. We have reached the end of the Kathleen Kennedy era because we are now begging for no more. Because it's disgraceful to see anything else come from this studio and from this woman. The entire studio should be shuttered. It should be closed. Start over. Anything else that comes out from this studio in the meantime should have the name Lucasfilm struck from the credits, from the title, from everything. This is not Lucasfilm. That is an insult to the man who made it. Folks, let's get to the review, which is no better than what you've just heard. But it's pretty darn funny in places right now. It's very seldom that I watch something and I think, this was written by bad people who have evil beliefs, and this is villainy. And what we've watched is villainy. Culture, you've sat through it. Jonas, you've sat through it. Lorne, you lucky dog.
Culture's face is worrying me right now because I don't think I've ever seen him look this dark before. So I'm curious to hear what happened tonight.
Well, as we get ready to top 400 people in the audience, and folks, we're happy to have you. We're still going to have a jolly good time. And I want to say that I am not angry. I don't care anymore. But I know what it looks like when people with true darkness in their hearts make something, and we just watched it. And these people don't need to be anywhere near kids, flat out. Culture, take it for me. We're not going directly into just yet, folks, what's in the episode. We'll get there in just a moment. But Culture, your initial thoughts having seen it.
Well, I think you said it well. I think we were exposed to a very dark magic indeed. And this episode drew my wrath verbally out loud on a yell at one point. There was so much canon breaking, it was ridiculous. And then I had to remind myself that it's Disney Star Wars. So there is no canon. It's whatever they come up with. Also, disgusting to me, instant ho was created and the shipper's dream came true. And I'm angry and disgusted.
It's hard to really put into words. Well, let's try it this way, folks, because I am seldom lacking in words. As you all know, I try to be a wordsmith. We'll see how this goes. If you would like to know the symbolic way of how bad this show is, and we will spoil it in just a moment, and this is the worst. There's nothing even close to it. There's nothing that's ever been in Star Wars that's even close to as bad as this episode. Just as an example, Smilo Ren, who is now the haughty guy that he's the good guy. He murdered all the Jedi for no reason. He's the good guy now. At one point in a fight, we find out he can shoot a little tiny lightsaber dagger out of his other lightsaber hilt, and he can use that little light butter knife for no reason. It serves no purpose.
No, he did that a few episodes ago.
He had a little tiny lightsaber. I don't remember a tiny little baby blade.
Yeah, okay, it was his
he's got a
dagger blade. Yeah, well, there's a lot of baby things right now. I'm just.
All right, so let's get some stuff out of the way. We are not going to refrain from spoiling anything because this is disgusting, and I mean it. If it wasn't Star Wars, I would say this is disgusting. So we'll just go ahead and let you know the Jedi are the bad guys. They flat out are awful. Jedi are terrible. Soul, who stabbed an evil dark cloud monster. We've called him rip-off Qui-Gon or discount Qui-Gon, what have you. Li Zhongxie is the only good thing in this entire show. He's the bad guy because he stabbed a giant witch shadow raven that was going towards an innocent child. And because he stabbed that raven, he is, without a doubt, he is the villain of the show. He's the villain. And Good Twin, who we've called Good Twin, she force chokes him to death. She murders him, and she is the hero of the story, her and Bad Twin. And they get together under Grandmother Willow and have a little talk. And Good Twin decides that she wants to be a Sith. And Bad Twin tells her to do what she wants to do. And then Bad Twin, she's taken by the Jedi. And Bad Twin gets with Jedi Master Nepotism in the green skin. And they get together to go talk to Yoda. Yoda should have never been featured in this because it defiles Yoda even worse than Last Jedi. The Jedi have always known about the Sith, apparently. It's all a bunch of lies. Everything has been lies. This show is garbage. That's what it is. I'm not angry. I'm just telling you this is written by imbeciles. Did I get anything wrong, guys? And then we'll get Lauren's thoughts. Jonas, where am I wrong?
Did you mention Palpatine in there?
You mean is it Palpatine or Plagueis?
I think it's Palpatine because he's like, well, this is quite unaccountable, but I'll set up a meeting or something like that. And it sounds like Ian McDermott's voice saying that. Well,
who's the guy on the unknown planet who's climbing around in the shadows? Is that Plagueis?
The guy in the unknown planet that's climbing around in the shadows.
You didn't see that guy? He's like a creepy guy in the shadows.
He came out of the cave as Osha and Darth Loverboy were strolling back onto the ship.
That's got to be Plagueis.
I guess I did miss that. I was maybe a little bit checked out at that point on this episode because my goodness.
So yeah, so Smilo Ren kills everybody that Good Twin. It doesn't matter. They're the same person. Smilo Ren kills everybody. She falls in love with him. He decides to be nice to her because that's how Sith are now. And he walks around with a shirt on for a little while. But yeah, the characters that you're supposed to care about and believe in, she chokes out the guy who tried to save her life, and she's the protagonist. So if you want Leslie Headland, if you want Harvey Weinstein's Acolyte to make Star Wars, that's what you get. You get the lead character that you're supposed to support, killing Jedi by choking them to death while in their eyes they cry because they tried to protect you as a child. Leslie Headland sucks. Kathleen Kennedy sucks. Star Wars sucks. Disney sucks. The fact that Disney allowed this to be put on the screen sucks. Don't let your kids be Jedi. Don't let them be anywhere near this franchise.
That's it really is like the whole thing. Vanessa Rowe, who again suggests a cover up in every single episode that she's in. The twist is, in the end, she confesses that something happened, but it's still also kind of a cover up. And this is Leslie Headland's wife's episode. We've wondered, nepotism really wasn't getting enough scenes. She gets the full episode. She does nothing. There was 2 seconds of that stupid light whip. It looked stupid. It was used to kill a bug. There's never been any more of it. And we don't need a second season of this. This is absolute garbage. Folks, I'm not waiting for a review score. This is a 0 out of 10 from me. I'm appalled by it. I'm not emotionally affected by it because I don't care anymore. I haven't cared since Last Jedi, although I made some caveats for that during Mandalorian, but this is garbage, and it should not be watched. It's terrible. Lauren, your thoughts?
I'm going to push back on you a little bit.
Says the man who hasn't watched it one moment and won't do so for the children.
What I'm going to push back on is you say that you don't care about it and you're not angry, but I can hear in your voice that you care about it and you're angry.
I'll tell you what's got me affected, Lauren. The idea that somebody this villainous wrote something so reprehensible and that it was greenlit and that they treated Gina Carano the way that they did. I'm full-blown Lucasfilm is evil. Like, I'm there. That studio should be shut down. It's evil.
Well, we've been talking about this. We've actually said this before. It sounds like, I'm gathering from what you say, it sounds like a number of the things that I predicted actually ended up being correct.
Yes.
But
I don't even think you, Lauren, could have suggested that we would peer into the crying eyes of a Jedi who attempted to adopt a girl to protect her life, and that same girl chokes him to death. And folks, wait, we've got somebody ready to go in a minute. But chokes him to death, his eyes bulging, him gasping for breath, and she is the hero. Not even you could have predicted something so vile.
Can I just point out that this episode had the most uproarious, hilarious line in the entire series, which is, if it was an accident, then why didn't you tell OSHA? That line would get you in big trouble at work.
Folks, get ready.
Who could that be? Let's go see, boys and girls.
All right, so there's that. That's Chato's take on it, folks. If you want to know the review, Chato, the fire back there is looks toasty.
I'm in hell. I'm in hell.
So's Leslie Headland. If they're, if you believe in such things.
I fell into OSHA's pit, but I didn't get sucked in by the tube by sheer accident. I'm touching the burning rock that actually charred, apparently.
Well, always, that's how physics works. And Shadow, worst Star Wars thing you've ever seen?
As an entire show?
You take your pick, man. I hate this.
I liked OSHA's outfit.
Which the Sith outfit or the prior one?
No, the nice gray Armani one.
Oh yeah,
Not-
very.
not
Gotta
the
have more
baggy one.
Armani. Gotta
The
have
one
more
that's-
Armani.
The one that's nicely pressed, really nicely done. Went with Kamir's yoga outfit. It was very
It's
nice.
hard to find a good laundromat and good dry cleaner on Unknown Planet, but she really went for it.
So very interesting. I mean, you guys are started to talk about it. She choked him to death.
Choked the one
Yeah.
good thing we had. Choked the life right out of him.
Yeah.
I think he's a great stand-in for all the Star Wars fans. We all understood how he felt as girl boss choked the ever-loving joy out of him.
Well, it's just a bad date.
A really, really bad date. All right, Hellboy, you're going to be releasing a review in the morning.
I'm gonna try.
I can't even imagine what it's going to be like, but I will be there to watch it. I guarantee.
Did any of you discuss why Rodent Boy sabotaged the ship?
Why did he sabotage the ship?
Hey,
Why
Hellboy,
did he-
why does a ship need to be within 2 feet
Okay.
to fire
okay.
a shot
Why?
now?
Why did Hellboy sabotage the ship?
I wish
don't
he
Because
know.
he was
had.
working for Venestra Row, I guess. That's kind of the thing they were talking about. And then her British gay attaché is just wandering around asking people how they're doing today.
They somehow managed to resurrect Frank Spencer from Some Mothers Do Have Them. Somehow.
I just appreciate
So-
that she still opens every motion sensor door with her hand, as if the force is needed every single time. It's beautiful.
And then she blamed Saul. Like, so she's evil too, right?
Everybody's evil. Everybody.
So
Everybody.
She did, but her lightsaber whip, which was only in one shot, which was in the trailer as well, that didn't turn red, despite the fact that she's evil.
They're all evil.
Pickle-
Everybody's evil.
Picklehead is evil.
Picklehead,
It's-
nepotism, chick is evil. Yep. Yoda's evil.
And did you notice at the end that Chimere reached for OSHA's hand, not the other way around, because he's a pussy.
Hey, here's
So-
a question. Lauren, I got a question for you before you go to your show. Kyber crystals, can they just change colors all of a sudden? Like, do they just do that?
Well, are we talking like old canon or new canon?
I'm talking like this blue Kyber crystal for the blue lightsaber when Good Twin, sorry Hellboy Shadow, when Good Twin takes hold of it after she's choked out Discount Qui-Gon, who raised her from a child, when she chokes out her adopted father, her Kyber crystal goes from blue to red, and then the lightsaber changes. It like the blue and the red fight each other, and it becomes red. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the new canon, they have something that they call bleeding the crystal. The Kyber crystal is actually a living entity, and the Sith will take a Kyber crystal and bleed it, which turns it red, and that's sort of what they do now.
Yeah, well, it's stupid.
It's, I will say it looked.
Oh no, the Death Star! Sorry, it was just I got the Death Star attack.
You got to find the trench on that thing.
Look out for the thermal exhaust port.
Did they actually explain why
Vash is
they
here, folks. Vash is here.
Hello there.
Did they explain why they were splitting this consciousness of one being into two? Was there any explanation for that? at
No.
all?
No.
It was just
Something
a
was-
virgins.
Yes, he
Virgins.
found a virgins on the planet. He was looking for virgins.
Mm.
I thought they mentioned Planned Parenthood.
Probably did.
You know,
It was probably down with the
considering
bridge.
the presumed politics of the coven, I would have thought that would be their choice.
Well, Lauren, the bleeding of the crystal, that comes from Splinter of the Mind's Eye, right?
No, the Kyber crystal comes from Splinter of the Mind's Eye. That was originally there was one, and it was a very special crystal that would increase your force powers. It was spelled differently. It was Kaibur. The new version is Khbyer. And it's Kyber crystals that are now used to power a Jedi's lightsaber. The bleeding ritual came out of the Ahsoka novel.
Gotcha.
And that's where it was first introduced. It also it's been in a few other bits of media. The most prominent one is probably Jedi Survivor.
And that's why Ahsoka has white lightsabers, because she's like a gray Jedi.
She healed a bled crystal, so that's why they were drained and became white.
Let me know when we get to the plaid crystals. I want to know all about the plaid crystals. Or the chartreuse crystals, or if you heal one that's been sick, but you took it to the doctor first, and then you got it neutered, it's chartreuse. Or it's
I
mauve.
thought they were
mauve sabers.
Just to make this interesting.
It's a gender reveal.
Yeah, just so I can keep this interesting here, let's talk about some of the things in the episode that were actually pretty good. First of all, the special effects on the asteroid chase, very well done.
That's decent. I will admit, some of the camera shots and everything, that's not bad.
Guys, I'm going to have to disagree. The lighting is terrible in this episode. There is no HDR. There's no high dynamic range on any of this stuff. Yeah. It's all washed out, and that's included in the CGI. Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, I was watching this on a phone and then a laptop, so
Okay.
I wasn't going to give it too much of a.
It looks decent on an Etch-a-Sketch, folks. Get out your light brights, and you'll really love it.
In the middle of it, they're going to start preaching about how the Jedi are all evil, just in case they actually might like Star Wars, or somebody might take their pants off again. I'm not watching this on.
I know, Jonas. I know why they got rid of the. I know why they got rid of that thing at Disney's Hollywood Studios where they bring the little kids up to be Jedi. Why would you ever want to be a Jedi? Jedi are terrible. Jedi are reprobates. They're evil.
They are the worst. Now they've corrupted Yoda, apparently.
Choke out Yoda next. On it? You need to choke Yoda. Choke him. Choke that Muppet.
Did Yoda actually speak in the episode?
No, it's just a shot of the back of his head.
That would have cost money, and Frank Oz hates their guts.
And then it's
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something heretical. I didn't hate this episode.
What?
Hellboy, what has happened to you? What has happened to you, Hellboy?
I'm trying not to purposely hate things. I'm really trying to digest it and just be honest about my feelings.
Good.
And
let the hate flow through you.
I think it's bad within the context of is this really what we built up to? This could literally have been the second or third episode of the series, and then tease what all the pieces that have now been assembled. That we've got the evil picklehead woman. Yoda is coming back in. The one girl is now going to be trained with Kymer. We've got this weird creature that pulled its hand around the opening of Kymer's bungalow.
Paul, is it fair to say that when the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, said that she wrapped up all the stories, there's no need for a season 2? Fair to say that's a lie, that this was always designed for a season 2?
Yeah. But this should have been season 1. Like, there was no it's actually got a lot of interesting bits and pieces, but this should have been episode 2 or 3. And then I would have been interested to see how they played all this stuff out. This stuff was finally interesting. That's my point.
Yeah, in an evil kind of way.
In an evil kind of way.
I think by the end of this, I don't care where these people are going.
Right.
So I can't get interested in it for that reason.
I want every character to die. So how's that for a season 2? Every character to die. Cool with me.
The only thing interesting about this, series and this episode is how it relates to the world we already know. Things that it sets up on its own are all crap. Vernestra's crap, like Jonas said. OSHA's crap, Mega's crap. All that stuff is garbage that I don't care about. But I can see where Shadow's coming from in that they do bring in some kind of Plagueis like figure
do we really
on
want
the island there.
You want the people who gave us this, and by the way, the lightsaber battles continue to be utter stupidity. They continue to not actually swing at each other, which is the dumbest thing to have to watch. It's like they're hitting an invisible pinata between each other. But
their feet make more contact than their sabers do.
And the choreography on the twins fighting, that is the worst thing, I swear.
Oh wow.
You can find better
Really
fights. You can find
bad.
better fights.
It would have been more interesting if you just put two toddlers banging at each other with their fists. I mean, that would be a more interesting fight.
Did you like when they crossed legs? They crossed legs and then they swiped to the crossing of the lightsabers.
You can find better, more convincing fighting in rural Mississippi.
Here's a good question
at the local, wrestling arena.
Here's a good question for you. So we've established that this helmet can short out lightsabers, and he's got a gauntlet that can short out lightsabers. Obviously, that guy gets disarmed. Why he would ever get disarmed when he can short out a lightsaber? Why
I was waiting for that.
Helmet?
I was waiting for the lightsaber shorting. That I honestly was.
He repaired the helmet as well in the previous episode. So
was he wearing his bracers?
but no, he was not.
Bracer.
He chose to not wear the bracer, which for some stupid reason. I mean, there was no reason. At one point when the two of them were fighting, it literally looked like two kids waving glow sticks at each other. It looks like the lightsaber fights I used to have with my kid brother in the backyard. Like, and the stupidity of the kung fu fight between the two, between Mary Kate and Oshley. That was, but don't you get it? They're the same person. So they do the exact same thing every time. Yes, Leslie, we get it. It would have been, you write it on a brick and hit me in the head next time.
I don't know, Marvin. I enjoyed subtle. I enjoyed that when you put on the helmet, apparently you have to go into the upside down from Stranger Things for no apparent reason whatsoever and pull them out of there. It's the dumbest stuff.
I heard you guys mention
I'm actually at loss to describe this.
I heard you guys. I heard you guys mention it when I got in here. The Darth Plagueis cameo was the biggest. Like, somebody forced her to do that.
And I don't want any of these characters to be in anything that she makes. This is terrible. Keep Yoda away from her.
But the only thing of any importance, Pro, is the Darth Plagueis cameo. Because it lasted all of 5 seconds.
2 seconds.
And I was like, are they going to actually have him in there at the end? Is he going to like present her to Darth Plagueis at the end? Nope. Nothing. It was in there because somebody was like, Leslie, you cannot completely rework the Bane-Knight Jedi, the Bane-Knight Sith. You have to have something with Darth Plagueis. And so she threw that in there with the care that one would discard a used tissue. And when it ended with the thing of Puppet Yoda, I literally out loud looked at the screen and I said, how dare you?
How dare you?
Listen.
I was howling with laughter at the violin music as they were holding hands at the end. I literally, honestly started laughing. That was horrendous. And then
it's like it's Twilight.
So forced.
Well, and you want to say, like, we have this big moment where the two of them are like, I can't believe I'll have to live without you. We have never seen the two of you share a single tender moment throughout the course of this show. Every word uttered between these two characters through their same god-awful, nothing facial expression has been antagonistic from the first episode. So why am I supposed to feel a certain way? Because they're sisters? You have never shown me any love between the two of them ever.
Well, part of the biggest problem is, number one, we don't care about their story.
I literally want every character to die. Yes, Hellboy.
And the thing is, the locus of all of this is that really dumb moment where Saul kills Anishabia or whatever.
Smoke Raven.
Mother
Anishabia. And I didn't understand that moment. If someone could explain to me why
he's held, it's a deep dark secret, Paul. When an evil witch turns into a giant smoke monster, you're not supposed to stabby that thing as it's going to inhabit a child.
And
You are
but it was
horrible
He
for doing
did
it.
the right thing. That's
May was
Crap.
disintegrating too. He looked back and
Yes.
saw May disintegrating, and that was when he stopped it because he thought that she was killing or sacrificing May.
Disintegrating? No, I thought the smoky bits were just going and enveloping her. I didn't see any. I didn't see any disintegration.
Well, I
If-
think
if
that's
you
fair to say the
see-
show sucks if we don't even know what was happening. If we're
No,
sitting here
seriously,
trying to
what's-
figure it
what
out
is-
still.
Well, no,
Her
I
clo-
Well,
that
he
to
didn't know at
me-
the time either, and that's
Yeah,
why
to me,
he
it looked like her
reacted. So
clothes-
he's
her clothes
fine.
were like she was starting to turn into the ash shadow as well.
Was she?
That's the way I took it, at least.
Oh, that's news to me.
So we've been using Aladdin in the past as a metaphor for this, and we've talked about Jafar and different things, folks. This is the best comparison I have. If back in the '90s Disney had Aladdin, and in the end of the movie, Aladdin uses whatever wish power the genie has granted him to choke Jasmine and kill her, and then to do the same thing to the genie, wipe his hands clean, and you're all supposed to go, yay! John, give us the review, please, sir. What's your review? You don't have to
Run it
recap this
down.
time.
It's over. Finally, the show is over. It's absolutely terrible. There's no resolution. Who even knows what the whole entire point of the show was?
No, that's the point. And I'm going to leave you guys. So have fun. Love you all.
All right, get
Bye.
out of here, Hellboy. You go work on a video tomorrow.
Show up
Get
at
your
your league.
300,000 views.
Bye.
Let's scare you away.
Slumming down here with us.
Bye, Paul.
All right, John. Soul choked out by
Oh
Good
my
to
God.
Win.
The guy's literally doing super force moves against Kymir, and then he's just gonna like sit there and get choked out. Like, what? This is a joke.
Dude,
He actually tries to say "I love you" to her, but just completing the creepy cycle that we have just
I
like
love
oh no,
building.
there were two creepy cycles in this.
Like, none of it makes any sense. They're like, I washed out because of my hatred. Like, what? We don't see that. That's never shown in the show at all. It's just 2 lines of dialogue in like this.
Well, she did
episode.
say, "I failed."
Yeah. and
Okay, wait.
It's like
Is
one
it-
in like one of the previous ones.
From the panel, everyone has seen this except Lorne. Lorne is the lucky one.
Yes.
Everybody who has seen this, is there a single character that you hope will live if they make us suffer through a season 2? And I may not review it.
Oh, the
I can
Is
answer
there a
this
single
one.
character you would want to live?
I can answer this one.
Lorne?
Palpatine.
Yeah,
Well, I don't really want him to live either.
I do not want Palpatine to be in a show
Palpatine
controlled by
isn't.
Leslie Headland.
No,
but
but
he would have
I'm
to be
saying
played by Ian McDermott, and so that
if
could be
he-
amazing.
if he didn't live, none of the other stuff happens, though. So I mean, that's.
So I'm
the
way
thing.
in favor of him dying then, because we don't have to do The Last Jedi.
Is your
random
that Kymir
the
Palpatine?
random black bureaucrat that might be a Force user that
No, he needs to die too.
that Palpatine works for. That is,
No, he's-
first of all,
yeah.
comes in with a super obvious line. He says, "You think my campaign for an audit of the Jedi is a vendetta? Oh, well, thank you for telling everyone in the audience what is painfully obvious already." I think that, that guy
You
probably
think I'm
should
here
have been
wearing a
introduced.
robe?
Exactly.
See, Disney audits can be good things.
Oh, I just, this show, I'm glad it's over, and I can't help but feel relief for Lee Jung Jae that they went ahead and killed him off in the finale.
Oh,
of
they
this
killed
show.
it. Listen, they did as much as they could to kill his career. But I still have not heard a single person on this panel say that there's one character living at the end of this episode that you wish to have be living and that you want to watch be living.
Plagius.
I like the
They do have
characters of
Plagius.
Rogue One more than these characters. I just want to put
They
that
have-
out there.
Do you
They
really
have
want
to-
Plagius to be in the next one?
Well, he's alive.
He's kill him off screen.
Sidious.
I'll take the
Already
blue
been
screen
killed
of
off
death
screen.
over this.
He's already been killed off screen.
Yes,
Read the
exactly.
Plagueis book again.
Stay with that. All right, guys, we gotta go around the horn and grade this thing. I for purposes of humor, I want to leave John till the end. We're gonna start with Vash, or as Lou calls you, Vash. Vash.
Oh yeah, Vash.
Scale of 0 to 10. 0 is the worst thing you've ever seen. 10 is Citizen Kane meets Godfather 2. Where does the Acolyte land for you?
Oh,
this
the
is a
show
full
or the
season
episode?
Let's do the episode.
Okay, episode. This episode, bad a 1. Bad a 1. Because things happen.
1 out of 10.
And like I said, the space shot and everything like that, but man, terrible dialogue, no resolution, stuff just thrown in there just to throw it in there, people acting with no motivations whatsoever just because plot, as we've commented before. And by the way, if I can, I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing. Before all this happened, Leslie Headland gave an interview. She said, if it doesn't succeed, it's because of me, she said. And that's really scary to think about. Well, scary for us because now it exists. But yes, it didn't succeed. And it's because of you. It's the only thing she got right during this whole thing. So it's a failure. She already, took credit for it. It's all on her. This is absolute trash garbage.
But she's like the head of Secret Service. She probably will not go. All right, 1 out of 10. So, folks, just so you know, 1 out of 10 is like, that is hot garbage, right, Vash?
Yes,
Culture.
It's absolutely
Your
hot
turn.
garbage.
What's boiled dung?
It really depends on if you want to go to negatives or not. We've never done negatives.
Oh, okay,
0 to me, a 0 out of 10 is
Full
like
numbers.
a 0 out of 10 is it was actually painful to endure, and a 1 out of 10 is like giving a gold star to a child with. No, I can't make that joke. Never mind. It's just bad.
If you were looking for a masterclass in stilted dialogue, if you wanted to figure out how to bore an audience in a lightsaber duel, and if you were trying to master the art of not making sense, this is the series for you. My rating is a 2.
2 out of 10. All right,
At least
we're
for
at
this
1.5 out of 10. Jonas?
I rate it a Marcus Squintess for $5. Wonder Twin powers activate. He takes the form of a wooden serotype, and she takes the form of an outdated meme.
Hey, it's not outdated yet.
Outdated.
Thank you very much, Marcus.
To us. Spit on that thing.
Jonas
what
just
did you
stalling
do?
before he gives us a 9.8.
Oh no, I'm giving this.
Here
All right,
comes
what's the
LK,
score, Jonas?
kid.
What's the score?
Come on, L-Take.
I just want to say that I love you all very much, and it's been an honor, gentlemen. I've enjoyed my time working for that place, and I'm not sure if I'll be here tomorrow. But I just want to say, no, I'm not giving this thing anything good. I'm giving this steaming pile of dog crap a 0. This is awful. This is horrible. This was
back down to a 1.
This is so bad.
I
What
was
about the
here.
I don't
cinematography,
understand
Jonas?
why anyone involved in the show still has a job. Okay, the special effects team, maybe they had enough time to do something good here. But you had cinematographers that were fine. But what was horrible from start to
I watched
finish?
that fight between the two
dialogue.
choreographers.
The dialogue is awful. The fight choreography, it doesn't even matter if the fight choreography was decent because they're shooting it in wide shots with two people who don't. It's like they're trying to catch a grape between their legs, between the two of them. The lightsaber fight is meandering, pedestrian. I do not understand how anyone looked at this and said, yeah, let's spend $180 million on that. There are episodes of the later seasons of Arrow that were better than this. Come on, guys. Come on. 0.
Just want to note,
I award
that
you no stars.
Jonas rated it lower than I or Culture. That's the power of many.
I hate this show so much. It is so bad. I never want to see it again, but I have to see it again. And that's why I'm rating it a 0.
Jonas,
I'm
you
confused.
stole.
How did you give it such higher scores like these other episodes?
Because
he wanted a redemption arc.
Because it
He
was
wanted-
funny. It was so bad it was funny in that one episode.
You
And there's
stole.
nothing left. There is nothing left. This should have been a bad movie so we could all get it over with, but instead they want to do let's stretch it out across 8 episodes and waste everyone's time as well as the shareholders' money. This is crap.
Well,
this is
they didn't want
complete
this to be a
crap.
movie because they knew this as a movie would have bombed so spectacularly.
It would have been,
and there would have been no
terrible.
hiding it. They wouldn't be able to hide it the way they try to hide this by trying to say it's a success if you look at it from a certain point of view.
Yep.
And in the end, they insult the Jedi and try to make the Jedi evil. The only thing that it has left with it, as if a turd could reach up out of the toilet bowl and grab onto you before you flush. That is what the Acolyte is.
I think that's a dingleberry.
0 out
I'm
of
talking
10
about
and
one
dingleberries
coming back up
galore.
out.
That's called
reclaimed its
a
space.
snake. That's called a snake in Florida, Jonas.
All right. You guys
Taco snake.
done?
All right, here's my score. Jonas is 0 out of 10. I am also 0 out of 10. Let me name some things that I think were more successful than the Acolyte episode 8. The XFL Football League, hugely successful in comparison to this thing. The Chevy Chase show, I think, looks like it looks like a miracle. It looks like something that Van Gogh bestowed upon us in comparison to this. I'm trying to think. Watching Barney the dinosaur backwards with your eyes scotch taped open, better than this. That's what I think of this show. I'd never want to watch another Star Wars thing ever again. I have reached where Lorne was after Ahsoka. I probably will have to watch this stuff, but I now dread it. I now actually dread having to sit down and have this play in front of my eyeballs because it insults my intelligence and my morality. 0 out of 10.
Wow.
Marvin. By the way, the current score stands at 0.33. It's a great show.
This was, without a doubt, the worst possible way to end the worst possible show that has ever existed. It is to call it pedestrian is an insult to things that are pedestrian. It is the most poorly AI would have done a better job at this because AI would have at least pulled from the work of competent writers. This was a talentless hack, a blockhead, a stupid, lazy human being writing absolute nonsense and thinking that people were going to lap it up because she did a bunch of interviews where she went, Star Wars saved my life. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your show. This was garbage. You threw in Darth Plagueis at the last second because somebody, probably Dave Filoni, told you that you had to, and you kicked and screamed while doing it. This was a nothing burger. Leslie, you have failed more than anyone has ever failed. Thomas Matthew Crooks was more successful in their venture this week than you.
Whoa. No, we're not doing that. Easy on that one.
I'm just saying, because failed spectacularly and died. This 0 out of 10.
All right. Well, we're going to have to scrub some of that out in the next phase thing.
Sorry.
All right.
Wow.
John, what do you give this score?
So, yeah, I mean, they made something, so they get a 1.
It was in focus.
You're giving it a 1 because they made something?
John, the FX
A
team.
0, a 0 mean, like, so when you guys say 0, a 0 means
John.
that there's nothing. They did indeed make something.
Oh,
so
no. Oh, Jonas came up to the top row. Watch out.
John, what are you doing here? I learned from you. Now I need you to learn from me. You're giving this a 1 because they
I'm
made
consistent.
something?
I've been consistent the entire time here.
Jonas, you
You
didn't
have
talk
like
to
radically changed your score.
So, John, let me ask you. Let me get an understanding of your
Going back to the court.
modus operandi here. So, you're giving this a 1 out of 10 because they made something. If I handed a classroom of kindergartners Play-Doh and said, "Make something with this Play-Doh," and we went around the room and we gave the kids a score, the child who took their Play-Doh ball and shoved it into their tear ducts and is now wailing on the floor, kicking and screaming because they used their Play-Doh to shove something into their eyeball. Does that get out of a 1 out of 10 because they made something?
Yeah, he's done
Because
something.
that's how I feel. I feel like someone took Star Wars and shoved it up into my septum. So okay, 1 out of 10. I won't hold it against you for very long. All right, folks. That means, according to the calculator of WDW Pro, that we have, in fact, a final score for episode 8. It's not for the full season. We can average the scores together, but it's going to be low for the full season. Here we go, folks. We as a panel have given the Acolyte episode 8 a review score of 0.4 out of 10. That is where the Acolyte stands today. Congratulations, Leslie. We're not being mean to you. We're literally, this is our honest opinion about how bad this is. It is the worst Star Wars thing I have ever seen. It eclipses episode 3 as the worst thing. It is garbage. And that is where we end. Please don't make any more Star Wars Disney. Please shut down Lucasfilm. Shut it down. It's that bad. It's embarrassingly bad.
Solo,
Lauren,
masterpiece.
we skipped over you because you did not watch it. You are smarter than we are. Lauren, having listened to us, give us your thoughts on what you've had to witness from us and our pain over the past month and a half now.
Before I do that, I do have a score in mind. Do you have your calculator ready?
I'm ready.
Actually, let me think about this for a minute. Never mind. Never mind. Forget it.
That was better tension building than Leslie Headland.
Yeah, best tension we had all. Yeah.
You had me there, Lauren.
X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared negative 4ac divided by 2a.
Okay, let me type that in. And I thought about having this be the first time Pro cusses live, but I'm going to hold back. I thought about saying, and the answer is shh.
Yeah. So I guess it's been a frustrating experience because obviously I haven't seen the show, and there's some people in the chat that have been calling me out for that. Why am I commenting on this? And it's like, I'm not really commenting on the show. I can comment on how it's operating within the framework of the existing universe. That's what I'm here for. I'm supposed to be commenting on the lore. I can't really. Everything that you've said is pretty much kind of what I expected the show was going to be. That's why I refused to watch this. After seeing what they did with Ahsoka, there was no way I was going to watch this. It just wasn't going to happen. I don't really have a horse race because I knew it was going to be garbage, and I'm betting that within a couple of weeks, everybody's going to forget this. You're not going to see people championing this show. The shills are going to let it die because they don't want to continue this conversation. I think my concern now is Skeleton Crew, which is going to be the next thing coming out. I've heard some people say they think, well, that's going to be good. I wouldn't bet on it, folks. What I've seen,
How could it be?
What I've seen of Skeleton Crew tells me they still don't understand who their audience is or why they're watching. They want to do a cross between Lost in Space and the Goonies.
That's exactly who their audience is. Kathleen Kennedy made that very clear. New York Times article, who their audience is. They just want to change their audience.
Well,
at this point, I expect the children in Skeleton Crew to chop up a Jedi and eat them.
Well,
and they'd be right to do so because they're so evil.
Why would they not, Lauren? They just choked out a Jedi who adopted a girl as her father, and master at the same time. She choked him out, and we went to a love sunset scene because she's the winner here.
You remember how you said that you weren't angry and that this didn't affect you?
You're right, Lauren. You're right. You're right, Lauren. I'm going to the dark side.
I can't believe I'm actually going to make a defense of the Acolyte here, but I am going to make a small one. And that is that it is a Sith-centric show. These are the bad guys. They wanted to showcase the bad guys. They showcased the bad guys. They did everything that I thought they were going to do in making all of the characters in making all the characters incompetent. They wanted to disparage the Jedi. They got what they wanted for this show. This is what Leslie's opinion of Star Wars is. But it's not canon. It doesn't matter. It's insignificant. It's a speck. Real fans know that. And it's not going to be anything but a ripple in the water.
If it gets a season 2, they're going to bring in Yoda. They're going to
This is not getting a season 2.
But I do think that no one is watching this, and that's the power.
This is not getting a season 2. I tell you what. If it here's the deal. You know, we were talking about the charity
Hold on,
stream.
folks. We're getting a close up on this one. Lauren, make your vow, sir.
All right, here it is. This you were talking about the charity stream. You've been wanting me to watch this show. If this does get a season 2, I will watch season 1.
Oh my!
Wow.
Will you watch season 2 too?
I haven't seen this show yet.
That's asking a lot, John.
We are going to get, by the way, folks, if it gets approved, if we get another sizzle, Lauren is going to. By the time he gets to episode 3, he's going to call us and say, "Guys, can I please get a takesy backsy on this, please?"
We have to have Lauren. We have to have Lauren do a song parody where he goes, "I would do anything for charity, but I won't do that."
Yeah, it's like right. I'm serious. I do not believe they're going to get a season 2 on this. I just don't.
If they do, it's spite. If they do, it's because of spite.
Yep.
Lauren,
All right, folks, we're gonna hit super chats, and then at the end of the super chats, I've got a bit of a surprise. We'll make that announcement. Before we do the super chats, I do want to say a huge thank you, folks. You all truly are the gigawatts, and we mean that. It's a funny way of saying it. We say it on purpose. We love Back to the Future. We love the entertainment of yesteryear.
We don't use a hard R when we say it, though.
That's right. 80,000 subscribers. We've done that in a basically a year and a half. And every day that I get up, and I know this is the same for everybody else on the team. When we get up, we think about what an honor it is to get to spend time with you, and that you trust us to spend time with you to relay the news as honestly as we can. We also know that this is something that almost nobody gets to experience. And so every day we make sure that we keep our senses in the right place, and that we remain grateful, and that we remember just what a privilege it is to have this opportunity. And so we cannot thank you all enough for this explosive growth. And it's going to also be a tide that lifts up so many others who are so worthy of being in that spotlight. And so, folks, from the bottom of our hearts, it's just unimaginable. Within a month, we've celebrated an increase of 10,000 subscribers, and it's you out there watching and listening and supporting. And so we just say thank you, folks. And folks, we've come to the end yet again. Another video of excellence, even if what we are reviewing is the absolute opposite. We've never given something a score this low. Never. Never, ever. 0.4 out of 10. Not 4 out of 10. 0.4 out of 10. We've never done that. This deserves it. It might deserve worse. Aren't you, John Trent? I kid. All right, folks. I'm not kidding about this. Could you click the like button, share, subscribe? Click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below, let us know. Do you agree with me the Kathleen Kennedy era is over, because we've actually reached the point where nobody wants to watch anything she ever does again? Here we go. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
You'd better hang on to your feathers, little bird. They need to put you in the show.
What? Jose, what are you listening to? You don't even have ears.
Vacation Radio 24/7. Original music on YouTube. Vacation Radio. WDW Pro Music Channel.
I have no idea what you're saying. But if you want to be listening to music, you should head over to Vacation Radio 24/7 on YouTube, one of the 100 other channels WDW Pro's been working on. Oh, and I have a song for you, Jose. Jose Cowabunga. He is Jose Cowabunga. He's Jose. That one seems a little bit foreign to you.